Hello, good day, everybody. My name is Makwa Kingsley. The name that people used to call me is Prof. Well, welcome to the NetTech training channel for the community. Today we'll be discussing about web development and the software that you need to get so that we start with the web development program. Yes. In web development, it's all about you creating websites or trying to create web applications or trying to work over the server or something like that. There are certain applications you are required to get before you can start with the web development. Well, if you do not have internet access, then you can still do the web development because you have certain applications that are offline that you can still use. One of the most one of the most ignored applications on your computer that is very of vital use is the Notepad. Well, Notepad can be used for so many things. To the web developer, Notepad is one of the powerful tools. To the hacker too is one of the powerful tools. To the virus writers too is one of the powerful tools, because with Notepad you can create a virus that can be terminated, a very easy way. So we have Notepad here, and it's available on every Windows machine. I don't know much of the Mac OS, so sorry for that. But on Windows we have Notepad here, so you can just go to your menu and then go look for your Notepad. So yeah, so you can use Notepad in creating websites. And then actually we have another software, we call it Brackets. This is the name. So we have Brackets here, so Notepad Brackets. So you can just go on you can go on Google, then you search for Brackets, okay, Brackets, or download Brackets, okay. Yeah, it's an ID, so Brackets ID. It will help you to create your own website. And we also have Atom ID, so you can also download Atom from Atom ID. Brackets and Atom are very free. We have Visual Studio Code. With the Visual Studio Code, it is free for the community side, and we have the professional. So when you go on Visual Studio, you just go on Google and you search for Visual Studio, you download Visual Studio. Now when you go on the website, we have the community side and we have the professional. Try to download the community, because the community is free, but the professional is paid. So that is it. So I'll just leave it here for you to write the names down so they can download. And then we have let me show you some of the softwares. This is the Atom. This is how the Atom looks like. It's very good because it has an autocomplete feature. So if you look here, you can see the layout of the website. So these are HTML codes together with the CSS. It's wonderful. I would like you to get it. And then we have the Visual Studio Code here. Yeah, it's also very wonderful. You can use it. Don't be frightened. It's wonderful to use when creating. Hello, good day. My name is Makwa Kingsley, and then this is tutorial number 2, and we continue on the web development. The first video was on the how the software that you need to get into the Slideberry community web development lesson. As again, my name is Makwa Kingsley, as you already know. The name people used to call me is Prof. You can call me Prof. You can call me any name you used to prefer. You can call me. Today is a continuation of. This time is a continuation. This time is a continuation of the previous video on the Slideberry community. Okay. Today we'll be discussing. First topic that we'll be discussing is what is websites. What is a website? Okay. We'll be discussing what is a website, what is web development, who is a web developer, who is a web designer, and then the 3 developer fields within the web development system or field. Now, with a website got to do with pages on the internet or documents on the internet. For instance, back in school, in primary, in JHS, in SHS, even in university, we were taught that a website is a collection of web documents, okay, that is a document found on the internet. So when you take Facebook is a website, though it's a social media platform, but it is a website. When you take if I take let's say Amazon.com is a website, okay, though it's an online store, so that is a website. Now, when we talk of web development is all about trying to learn programming languages, web languages, okay, that is codes, okay, to be able to create your own websites, search engines, web applications, even to provide security on the internet. That is the main idea of web development. Okay, so that is, when we talk of web development, it's all about you trying to bring the online presence, or you trying to create a system that would be nice to be used on the internet. Okay, yeah. So this brings about the question, who is a web developer? So a web developer is you and I, who tries to sit down to learn codes, or even not even learning codes, but try to bring other technologies together to make online presence very better. Okay, yeah. So for instance, Mark Zuckerberg can be termed as a web developer because he sat down to think and created Facebook. Facebook is an example of a social media platform. Somebody sat down to create YouTube. So YouTube is also another social media platform, but it's also a website. So a web developer is somebody who creates such who creates such websites or such systems on the internet. Now, many people confuse themselves with web developer and then web designer. When somebody is a web developer, the person actually learns how to code, how to use those codes, the languages, to create websites, web apps, and other technologies. And then a web designer is one who sits with Photoshop, InDesign, or any of the designing application to design the interface of a website. So designers are mostly like UI developers. They try to develop the user interface of a website or a mobile application or a web application or interface of anything. So that is the vast difference between a web developer and a web designer. Somebody can become a web developer and at the same time a web designer. Yeah, but web developers normally code, and while web designers normally deals with designing the user interface and then the UX. So UI and UX, we will talk much about it later. And then we have three folds of the web developers. Okay, that is, the developing fold. We have what we call front end developer. We have back end, and then we have full stack. Okay, so we have front end developer, and then we have front end developer, we have back end developer, and we have a full stack developer. So front end developers are all about trying to code to create the user interface. So when a designer designs how a website should look like, the front end developer will sit down to code the actual thing to look as it is on the design. And then the back-end developer most of the times deals with the transmission of data from one point to another, or providing security for a website or a web application. So if you get the idea, well, the front-end developer normally creates how everything should look on the website. That is, they code it. They don't design it, they code it. So when the designer designs the website and bring it to the front-end developer, he sits down to code the user interface, the face of which you see. Then let's say there's a part where you send messages to a friend, and then the friend receives the messages, you receive back the reply and other things. That one deals with the back end, that is dealing with the server and then transmission of data from the server to your computer. So that is the back end. And then sometimes the back end developers also provide security for the website so that nobody breach the security or hack into the website or something like that. And then the full stack developers, as the name pertains, full. So full stack developers are developers that have idea about front end and then back end. It means they have all the knowledge within the back end and the front end, so they can do any of them. So they combine them to do something. And then when you see such person, we call the person a full stack developer. Well, I'm a front end developer, but I can teach things that are inside the back end and the front end also. Yeah, but I'm a front end developer. Okay, so let's put this one aside. If you have any questions, do try to comment, and then I will answer you personally. Yeah, and then let's get into the other side. If you can see, we have Notepad, Chrome, and then Firefox. Well, these are the three recommended things that at least you should have if you don't have any application on your computer. You should try to get Notepad, Chrome, or Firefox. These three things will help you to code or try to help you to create your own website. So we underestimate Notepad, but Notepad is one of the powerful things, so try to get it. And then Chrome too, and the Firefox. But somebody will ask the question, what about we who don't have computers at home, but we have only mobile devices? Well, when you have a mobile device, if you have Android, you can download Unwriter free from Play Store. You can also download Creative ID, okay, from Play Store. But we recommend Unwriter. Okay, we recommend that anybody using Android devices should download Unwriter free, because that is what we recommend. Okay, it'll help you to code, and then without needing a browser or any other thing. So if you're using a mobile device, try to download Unwriter. We will do tutorials on Unwriter, how to use Unwriter to code your website also, so you don't have to worry. And then what about those who uses iPhone? Those who use iDevices to, whether it is the tablet or whatever, you also have the chance to download